Hey y'all, hey, it's Patty from Giddy Things. I'm here today with the final 3 of the 9 apps that I have reviewed, really for a compare and contrast what they can do for small creators, small channel creators on YouTube. And today we're going to be dealing with DU Screen Recorder. That's one. Then the second one is going to be Hootsuite. Hootsuite. And then the third is our friend YouCut, which I've used quite a lot during my journey on YouTube. And we'll talk about all 3 of them and what they can do for you. They're distinctly different things, so they're not really in competition with each other, so to speak. DU Screen Recorder is our first. DU Screen Recorder, can I say that 1,000 times maybe, is a screen recorder that is primarily for people who do like tutorials, gameplay. It can be helpful for anything where you need to pull something up on your screen to incorporate it into your video. It has the advantage of being free, and that is something of a rarity for screen recorders. So this app, it applies, oh my gosh, to small channel creators because you really want things that are free. Unless you have, again, a lot of discretionary funds, you also need things that can perform in multiple ways. And DU Screen Recorder does also have an editor associated with it. Now, it's a simple editor. If you want to do things that are really filmic and up the production values, you're going to have to go back to things we talked about in the other videos. I'll link the video at the end of this one. That's sort of the mother video of the 3 that I made in this series, this one being the third. You're going to need to go to something like Adobe Premiere Rush if you want to do serious editing. But for no learning curve and simple edits, which are the kind that I typically do, you can do those in DU Screen Recorder. So the one-stop shop of it all is really kind of helpful for small channel creators because you don't want to have to hop back and forth to really manipulate the content that you're using. That having been said, let me see if I've missed anything from my notes. I think that pretty much sums them up. Creators who produce tutorial videos, I'm very interested in doing that as a teacher. Gaming, streams, or any kind of content that relies on capturing your screen activity, Screen Recorder is a very good way to do that. It keeps it simple, and it keeps it simple for mobile devices, which is also super important. Now, Hootsuite is a totally different tool. DU Screen Recorder is for recording the screen when you're making videos and maybe a limited amount of editing. But Hootsuite is for, I find this so interesting, I'm getting a little excited. It's a scheduling tool, and you can use it in cross-platform content. So this will help you schedule out things if you're working in multiple platforms. For right now, I'm really trying to stay in YouTube. I do have some interest in creating for other platforms, but it's not something I think I'm going to do at any time in the near future. And I'm sorry, my eyes just go all over the screen, and I apologize for that. But Hootsuite can help you to maintain a consistent sort of presence in social media that you're using and the platforms that you're using without having to switch back and forth, right, among the platforms. So you can schedule things out and not have to post manually at specific times. Hootsuite will do that for you. You can plan your content ahead of time, making it easier sort of to stick to a content calendar. I don't know if I'm ever going to really be that interested in content calendar scheduling, but if I am, and if I'm working multiple platforms, I'm going to be, because, and it becomes like a batch issue. You're creating batches of things. That's when it would get interesting to me. If I were working in 2 or 3 platforms and wanted to batch out my stuff, in other words, use something in more than one platform, this would be a great way to do that. And if I wanted to stagger the release of those things, I could do that as well. So it just effectively, if you get to a point where you have a lot of different platforms going on, it manages not getting gaps in your content. And that's super important for building community subscribers, right? And for getting the kind of success that you're looking for with your channel. It's very streamlining and what's time efficient? Is that what I'm looking for? Streamline? Yeah, I guess so. It's efficient in planning your time. And I'm all about the plan. If you've seen my video on Stephen Covey's 4 quadrants of time planning, you know that I'm all about the plan. So if I get to a point where I'm working again on multiple platforms, Hootsuite would be very helpful to me. The other thing that's really helpful about it, and y'all don't close your minds to this because I have a tendency to close my mind to this, collaboration. If you're working with a team, I'm pretty much a person who likes to work independently, but I know the value of teams. Just the YouTube creators like Jessica Donegan Reeds or Just Jessie here, who've been good friends to me and reached out to me to help me grow the channel. That's a kind of collaboration that I want to be able to do. And, people do collaborate on YouTube videos. They call them collabs a lot of times. If you're not familiar with the jargon, if you are, this is all old news for you. But I want to be able to collaborate with other people, and this might be a way to make sure that we're synchronizing the things we release. So if, for example, like one of my favorite channels, Sensible Living with Money Mom, if I end up wanting to do a collaboration with Dawn, who is Sensible Living with Money Mom, I would probably benefit from the more collaborations I do, being able to schedule out my videos to make sure that I am releasing them in tandem with the folks with whom I'm collaborating. And so that's, and maybe it's even 3 or 4 people and we're doing some kind of a challenge. I think that would be fun. So don't think that it has to be about group work, right? Which is never all that popular. This is about teamwork, which is very different. Working together in a team to help all of our channels grow can be a really good thing to do. So Hootsuite can be helpful. With that, let's see if I've missed anything that I wanted to mention. Just a consistent posting schedule and evaluating, this is a big thing, the impact of your content on different platforms. So whether that is YouTube or other platforms like Instagram and others, you have an opportunity to see how things are doing in comparison to other platforms, and it might change the way you decide to disseminate your content eventually. So that's Hootsuite. Then YouCut. Oh, I wanted to leave enough time for YouCut because it's been my friend. It's such a simple tool, but it's been so powerful. Let me tell you a little bit about it. Make sure I hit all the high points because it's kind of my favorite child. I don't have a favorite child, to be clear. I don't. I really don't. So YouCut's purpose is mobile video editing for quick and efficient work. I'm all about quick and efficient. You probably are too. So I have used this quite a bit. Some of it's first of all, it's mobile friendly. We already mentioned that. It's the editing tools are so simple and intuitive. I've never worked in something that I just started to click and play right away in quite the same way for this purpose as I have with YouCut. It's free. There's no watermark. Again, as you know, that's important to me. It might be important to you as well. It exports in high definition, and you can export directly into YouTube from YouCut, hence the similar names. There are multiple aspect ratios, and something that is this simple to use, that can be kind of a rarity as well. It 16:9, the YouTube standard, right? So you can easily format those videos, but there's also for other kinds of social media posts there as well. And you don't have to resize anything manually, which is what I'm about. It's free. It has a premium upgrade, but I'm just still using well, no, I'm not. I paid for it, y'all. Menopause moment. I did pay for it, but it was really affordable. I don't want to quote a price right now just because it might be a different price when you're watching this video. So it helped me because I didn't really want to budget a large amount of money to that. So I'm still using it. Again, I'll use it for this video to put up the text on the screen and stuff. So it's ideal for small creators who primarily use their phones, and that's who I am right now. That might be who you are, to create content for an efficient but high quality, no fuss at all editing tool. And again, one of the great things about it is that it looks like you've used something that actually cost you money, in my opinion anyway. Let's go ahead and look at some functionality benefits of what we've talked about so far, right? So DU Screen Recorder is a top pick for screen recording, capturing gameplay or tutorials very easily. And so it has become a go-to tool for a lot of YouTube creators. It is easy to use, doesn't require advanced technical skills, so it's perfect for beginners like me and maybe like you. YouCut we'll get to in a second. I went to my favorite child for a second. Hootsuite is good for scheduling across multiple platforms and also works really well if you want to collaborate. And then YouCut is a one-stop editing tool to get your mobile content directly up on YouTube with text on the screen if you need to tell people what you're talking about and remind them on the screen, with some effects as well. And it's really, for what it does, it really is a great tool that I might not ever get out of using if I didn't have some different plans for the channel, which I do. But I think you could probably use YouCut for the duration of your YouTube experience, or at least for several years, without really moving into something else. And it's the price point. If you want to go from the free version to the subscription version, the price point is really affordable. I hope that these helped. I hope that the quick summation of them helped. And I also hope that you will reach out and let me know if there's anything you would like me to look at and give you my feedback on for additional tools, because there's so many. One of the things in picking just the 9 or 10 that I originally picked, I think YouCut ended up being, I may be missing one a little bit, Canva. I'm going to talk about Canva in a separate video, but because Canva is that important to me, I'm going to talk about it in a separate video. YouCut could have done that too, but it's just simple and there's not as much to talk about as there is with Canva, which is for design and thumbnails and things like that. Again, that's coming in another video. But I hope that this has helped you to narrow some things down. The bottom line on all of this is kind of the way I want to close the video, is that there's so many different things that you can use for all these functionalities that it's easy to get lost in the shuffle. That's why I just kind of wanted to pick 9 or 10 of them and go through them in a few videos to give you the opportunity to just go, you know, sometimes there are things that have equal value and do the same things. And so it really doesn't matter so much which one you pick. And just, I chose ones that I saw great reviews on, things that I thought looked promising for me. That was sort of my rationale coming into it. I hope that you feel so loved. I hope that you will subscribe, like, and please do comment and let me know if there's other stuff that you would like to see in these videos, and look forward to my working and interacting with DU Screen Recorder so that I can make some tutorials for educational purposes based on my career in education and as an instructional designer. Go in peace and love to serve others.